What are you talking about here? This video has gotten like 70,000 views. It's the one where about the we're not getting out of this. So simply put, whether you're awake or asleep, whether you want to keep your head buried in the sand or you want to raise your head to the highest of heavens to see what all the truth is of everything, none of us, whether you're asleep or awake, are getting out of this. It doesn't mean everybody's going to die. It doesn't mean anything. It's being taken negatively, and it's not. I mean, it's not meant to be negative. It's simply this. There's too many people that have looked into things. We've lived in this world that we've been taught how to just believe what people on TV say, to just believe what experts say, to just believe what universities, because they have so much education, say. And yet then come to find out, when you really look into things, when you go to federalregistry.gov, foundersarchives.gov, whitehouse.gov. I mean, there's so many .gov where you can look up the history, look into things, and you find out, whoa, hold up here. The amount of lies, the amount of mis and disinformation that the very media that we trusted for so long has told, and the science and the educated have told, is unbelievable. And then you look into it, see, oh, it all goes back to the Green New Deal. It goes back to Agenda 2030. It goes back to AOC, Bernie Sanders, George Soros, and many, tons of corrupt people on the left and the right. It goes back to Biden and Obama. It goes back to it goes back, and you realize, holy hell. We have been living in a fishbowl of lies. While we've been told we live in this free country and all are equal. There's an old normal. We're not going back to the old normal. The moment COVID hit, that's when everything just split. And everything just cracked open for a lot of people, that something massively was wrong here. And then there was a whole bunch of people that didn't want to see it. Still don't want to see it. Want to stay in their happy place, what the experts say, what the peer-reviewed journals tell me is always true, and I'm just going to believe that because I've been taught that that's how I should think. Never thinking for themselves. But either way, none of us are getting out of this without everything changing. We're not. It doesn't matter how much you want to see the truth. It doesn't matter how asleep you want to stay. A change will come that is on a mass scale. And it will either be the change of, we go into the dystopian system of AOC's Green New Deal and Agenda 2030, or the American people, along with people in the world that are awake across the world, that say, no, we want nothing to do with your sick agenda. We want nothing to do with you healthcare systems that want to support cutting genitals off of children. We want nothing to do with your critical race theory. We want nothing to do with your sickness and your illness. No matter how higher educated you are, we're sick of all of it. So there's a ton of us that just want nothing to do with their agenda. And we'll fight against it every step of the way. And then there's this other normal, or I don't even know if you'd call it normal. This other way it could go, which is the way of it actually being a fair system. It not be operated by corrupt, wealthy elites who are so sick in their mind, wanting money all the time and control over people, that the world can actually be a peaceful place. That things can operate on a more even scale, not with associations and institutions and science and education deciding what we will and won't do. So there's two outcomes. There is no going back to the old normal, because that wasn't normal. It was a sea of lies. And the new normal is the Agenda 2030, which will just be more sea of lies. But on top of that will be a mass amount of control, digital and otherwise, control over people that is sick and twisted by the very elites and the very biggest of corporations. So we're not going back to what we used to know. We hope to God, most people anyway, don't want anything to do with the Green New Deal or their agenda. So that leaves the unknown. I personally think the unknown will work out in the average person's favor. And that everything is being turned on its head right now because everything is changing. Either way, none of us get out of it. It doesn't mean everybody is going to die. It doesn't mean that, although I like how some people are taking it. No, it means nothing is going to be the way we thought it was. Nothing is going to be the same again. And you can be awake, you can be asleep, but nothing will ever be the same again. And I personally think that what the change will be a fair system. So that's what I mean. None of us are getting out of this. You can stay asleep up until the very moment it comes slamming you in the face and you're like, can't even keep your head, you can't even fathom any of it because you don't understand what's going on, or you've been awake and you understand exactly why things are playing out the way that they are. Either way, none of us, whether it's the elites who have all the money, wealth, and power, doesn't matter even how much wealth and power they have, or the most poorest, none of us are getting out of it because we're not going back to the old, and God willing, we're not going to what they want in their new world. Nothing will ever be the same. That's what I mean. Doesn't mean the worst is yet to come. I don't think that the worst is yet to come. All I meant is at this point, when you realize how much you've been lied to, you just want it over. Not a death wish. No. I want the corrupt held accountable, every single one of them. I want all of the people at the heads of the institutions. I want associations eliminated. I want unions eliminated because there's no need for them. We only need them when we have corrupt people running our government, when we have extremist, domestic terrorists running our government, no different than what poor Iran has been living under. Then I want all of them brought up on charges. I want them removed at the very least. I want experts eliminated so that the average people have a voice for once. Nothing will ever be the same again. Change is coming no matter who wants it or who doesn't. But I don't think that change will work out in the liars' favor. I personally think they're screwed.